Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Nerdable Podcast. Abel and David here today, and today's podcast we're going to talk about a few things. Of course, we'll be talking about Pokemon cards and the madness at Target, Walmart, and other major retailers. We're going to be talking about a Pokemon Sword and Shield update, the P25 Pokemon 25th Anniversary music album, Pokemon Go update, and then as far as Funko Pops, we're going to be talking about some new releases, and we even have some Dragon Ball news to announce with you guys if you have not already read about it. But before we get into all that, we're going to talk about some recent pickups that we have. David, you want to share some recent stuff that you have or that you've ordered?
So unfortunately, one of my orders got canceled from Rakana, but other than that,
Put them on blast. Put them on blast.
We never shipped. It took like 2 weeks, and then Rakana was like, "Do you want to cancel your order?" And I was like, "I guess I'm probably not going to ship it." So I canceled it and got my money back. And so I ended up buying other cards from one of my coworkers because he has really good luck, and so he wanted to know if I wanted to buy any cards off him. So I picked up some pretty cool ones. I got a Aloha Ninetales, which is one of my favorite ones that I got from him. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, you can. That's a good one.
And then this is the one like I really, really wanted. And I was like, he didn't know the price of it, but he was like, I'll just give it to you. And this one's like the tag team Aloha Muck and regular Muck.
But that's a cool one.
Yeah, I really wanted it. I saw it and I was like, I like that. And then some other stuff that he had given me. He showed me about like 7 for like 40, but some of them actually held really good value. But we didn't know what the Japanese one was, and I didn't either, but I just really wanted it. So he was like, no, you can just have that one. So I got some pretty cool cards. Probably gonna get them graded. At least the Ninetales, because I don't want to sell that one.
Send it now. You might get it in 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, cool. Okay, so you want to also talk about the Funko Pops that you just pre-ordered?
Oh yes, I just pre-ordered from the Pride collection. I ordered Stitch. I was between him and Tina, but I might order Tina next week, but I'll see what happens. I really like Tina. She looked really cool, but
do it. I'm a bad influence.
I went with Stitch in the end. I was like,
I got Stitch too. I pre-ordered him too last week. So when we get our Stitches, we'll have
Wally was a close third.
A Wally, I know. I only have one Wally Pop, and I think it's a diamond exclusive or something. Because I never even watched the movie. I just like the way it looked. Yeah, Wally was a close third for me too, as well. So I have some huge freaking pickups. And if you follow the podcast on Instagram, I've shared it on Instagram. Well, one of them. So I talked about it last week. How I really wanted the Aang from Avatar, the glow in the dark box lunch exclusive. So there was this whole drama because they sold out online. I forgot about the pre-sale. Then all the stores were sold out, and I have a friend that works there, and she texted me and was like, "We sold out," and I'm like, "Oh, I hate you." And then she was like, "Hey, I got you one." I'm like, "Yes." So here is the Aang that I got, glow in the dark.
That one looks really nice, honestly.
Yeah. And he actually, like, his whole body glows, like his whole face, everything. Love it. And this is the Box Lunch Earth Day exclusive. And so what makes it different is obviously the packaging is brown. The Earth Day Pops, they're usually like a brown because it is recycled. So the figure is made out of 20% recycled material. The box itself is 80% recycled material. And the window is 100% recyclable.
Oh, dang.
So that it makes this Earth Day exclusive special. It's also, like, I know I used to work for Box Lunch. They are very, very big about the community, giving back to the community. Earth Day, they, like, it was a requirement there once a month. Me and my assistant manager used to have to go and give back to a local charity, and so we used to have to work with the food bank once a month, and that was like a part of our schedule. Like, we had to volunteer for 2 hours a month, and so every store does that. Also, for people that don't know, this is like a big advertisement for Box Lunch, just because I was so happy with my friend and I was like, I'll shout them out. Box lunch for every I think it's, I don't remember, for every, so like for every X amount of money that you spend, they give back to a local food bank. And that's where whatever city your box lunch is in, they give back to that local food bank.
Oh, damn. That's
And so
because we're getting a new food bank, right? Or are we?
Yeah, I believe so. And I could tell you guys it actually happens because I worked at Box Lunch, and there was my first week. I opened the store here in where we live. And my first few months, we gave almost like $10,000 each month to the food bank.
Dang,
And
that's
so
crazy.
that's how much money we were making. And so definitely support Box Lunch. They're not like a local shop or anything, but they give back. So shout out to them. Now that that advertisement's over, this was not a Box Lunch. This Box Lunch is not sponsoring this episode, but I did want to shout them out. And then my friend texted me that she got a restock of this WonderCon Jolteon exclusive pop. That, for those of you that know me, know that I wanted this pop and they sold out before I could get it. And I was so happy because I have Jolteon. I'm sorry, I have Vaporeon, now Jolteon, and I'm only missing the exclusive Flareon. But I do have the regular Flareon, so that's cool. And Eevee is one of my favorite Pokemon. So super excited about that. Also, speaking of Aang, going back to that, David, my friend, said that if they get a restock in, she's guaranteeing that I get you one. So
oh, nice. Yeah, one. That was the coolest one. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna tell my friend, look what I got. She's gonna be jealous.
Yeah, so hopefully they do get a restock, but she said that she will. The last thing I picked up was this blister pack of Pokemon cards. So it has 3 Battle Styles packs, and it has a holographic Jolteon. I hate the lighting issue.
Oh yeah, it's like the reflection.
Yeah, so it has Jolteon here, a holographic card, and it comes with like little coin with, I forgot this, Shaman. The Shaman, it comes with little Shaman coin, and these are 3 Battle Styles. And this is actually, I got it for like MSRP, like I got it for retail price on Amazon, which is cool.
Amazon's coming in clutch.
Yeah, they are definitely. And also Battle Styles is, like we talked about numerous times, like not everybody wants it, so they're kind of easy to get. And the good thing is I'm actually giving this to my nephew. Today is his birthday. They're twins, so I have 2 nephews, but one of them likes Pokemon, and I'm giving him this because I refuse to give him any of my Vivid Voltage. So I bought him these because I'm like, oh, I don't really care if you get a good pull from there, like, you know what I mean, like you're not getting my Vivid Voltage booster pack. So in a way it's like, you know, me getting out of giving him those cards. So other than that, that is all I have picked up. I'm trying not to spend any money because I'm going to Vegas, so I'm like holding back on so many purchases. I'm like, oh my god, like I have so many things I want to buy, like Funko Pops. Like I want all the pops. Like I want them all. Especially one that we're going to talk about today. So I guess let's move on and let's just talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield update. So there was Pokemon Sword and Shield. They update their game, and usually when a company updates their game, they kind of give a very, even like apps, when even like applications on your phone, when they're updated, people don't ever read like what happened, like what was the update about, or they'll say like one major fix and then they'll like say something generic like and other bug issues or something.
Yeah, I've seen that all the time.
Right. Well, some, you know, hackers out there, Pokemon fans are crazy. That's the theme of this the title of this episode is gonna be like Pokemon fans are crazy. So some Pokemon fans actually hacked the patch and read the code. And so one of the major fixes, according to Cerebi, which Cerebi is where I get a lot of my news from, one of the fixes includes a fix involving Groudon and Kyogre. It says prior to the update, Trick would fail on both of them. However, now it's no longer an issue. So that is one of the major issues fixed, but that was not disclosed. apparently there was glitches where it was failing like nonstop, and now it has been fixed. So that's good for Pokemon Sword and Shield players. Again, I have the game, haven't played it, don't have time right now.
I started playing it again. I finally got Cinderace after coming back to it. So he evolved. And now
Did
he
you
has
just restart? Did you just start it, or?
No, I was like on the fourth like arena match, but I never got to the fourth one. Like I literally was outside the town whenever I saved it, and then I loaded it up like this week, got to the town, beat him, and then well now I got Cinderace because he evolved, and now he's like overpowered, and I didn't realize he was so overpowered. Yeah, he like one shot killed the entire like gym leader. I was like, okay, this was a lot easier than what I thought.
I think I'm on like the third gym. Maybe we should. Maybe that's something that we do. Like as we maybe like we play it. We play it and we talk about like what we did that week in our game or something. That'd be something cool to include.
Yeah, one of my best friends that streams, he's like, "Why don't you just stream all your Nintendo games?" I was like, "Cause I don't want to. I don't have the personality to stream."
Yeah, and then like when I play, especially Pokemon, I don't get like angry or anything because I get angry when I don't catch the Pokemon that I want, but like I normally don't lose battles because I'm just like, come on, I'm a master. I've been at this for years. Like,
Yeah,
I'm a Pokemon master. So, yeah, and so and then also normally I do like my research. Like I cheat. I'll go and like I'll see like what Pokemon the gym leaders have. And so I'm like, okay, so I make sure to like load my team up with the right people. I'm like, I'm not going fucking down.
not today.
The only time that I ever lose is when I get to like, what is it called at the very end? I forgot, the Elite Four.
Like the Elite Four. I don't know. Is it still the Elite Four in Sword and Shield? I don't know how.
I haven't even got that far, so I don't know.
Yeah.
And so maybe we'll start including that in our podcast if we play throughout the week. So that'd be cool. Maybe I'll try it this week. I just have a lot going on. Yeah, so that's Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's talk about Pokemon Go now. So Pokemon Go, I know David plays, I don't play. Pokemon Go trainers now have a chance to earn a significant catch XP bonus, and you guys have more opportunities of finding a shiny Galarian Ponyta. David just got one, but you didn't catch it.
No.
It was an egg, right?
Yeah, he came from one of my Alohan eggs, and I hatched it. I put him to incubate, and then I have like my my sync on, so every time I'm walking near with my apps off, it counts my steps. So then it just counted my steps, and then it hatched, and it was Galarian Ponyta, and I was like, oh, nice. So I got lucky. I think I hatched it around the event. That's why.
What did you sync it to? I'm sorry.
So there's like a sync thing, like so basically it's you can hit like it's a setting, and if you turn it on, it will sync even when your app is closed. It'll still count your steps, because before it would only count your steps if you had the game active, but now you count your steps no matter what, whether it's off or on. So you can just have your phone off and it'll still count your steps.
That makes me interested in playing again, because at work all day I'm walking around, and you know what I mean? And then I have my phone on my pocket or something. So that's cool. I say that and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to play.
I mean, you get more football and stuff, because it's like you walked all this week, you know, so many kilometers.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I'm not going to play. I don't know why I lied to myself. So the Pokemon is going crazy with the 25th anniversary thing. We all know that. Well, they are releasing an album called P25, and Katy Perry and Post Malone are featured on the album. From what I read, there are other musicians on the album, and Katy Perry's new song Electric will be out when this podcast comes out, actually tomorrow, which is Friday, May 14th. And I saw a little snippet of like she had like a little recording. I guess she just showed like a snippet of the song on Instagram. Not a fan. I don't love it.
Katy Perry either. So that's why when she was picked for Pokemon 25, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Post Malone did really well though in his virtual concert. It was really good. It blew me away.
See, I don't like Post Malone either. I don't like. I
I just
know
like the concert. It was so
a
good.
lot of people like Post Malone. There's just not people I listen to. And Katy Perry, like I was telling David before we started recording, she was cool like in the 2000s, like early 2000s, like when pop was a big deal. You know what I mean? Like pop was a big deal, and now I don't feel like pop is such a. It's kind of like music kind of changes throughout the years, you know, and
It
pop
does.
is not a big deal. So, Katy Perry, I feel like has hit her like limit. Like she's done. But more on Katy Perry on my other podcast, Pop Culture After Dark. So there's a plug for that. Talk about Katy Perry there. Yeah, so I definitely will not be adding P25 to my Apple Music. So sorry, Pokemon, you're not getting my coins.
I do wonder if there will be a virtual concert though for Katy Perry the way they did it with Post Malone. That's what I'm curious about.
I don't know, but what I do know is that Katy Perry has for a long time. I think the reason why they included her was for a long time she has made it public that she's been a fan of Pokemon, and she's very similar. She's only a couple years older than me, and so she was around with the first generation of Pokemon,
That
and
makes sense.
so she has interviews where she talks about it like before even this year. Like it's not just a recent thing for her. Like she even visited, like whenever she was on tour a few years ago, she went to like Pokemon cafes and like was taking photos there, and like she's like obsessed.
Oh dang. Yeah, I know Post Malone has been seen like buying Pokemon cards from local shops and like going in and seeing what they have. And he said that he's been a fan of Pokemon and he plays Magic the Gathering, he plays games, he does all that kind of stuff. So he's basically a huge nerd.
Yeah, it's cool. So we do have one more Pokemon story, but we're gonna save that for last. Moving on to some Funko Pop stuff. Sorry, my like computer went crazy there. So Funko Pops announced that there are some new Venom Pops coming out for the new Venom Let There Be Carnage movie, and they seem pretty cool. They're available for pre-order on Entertainment Earth, and I have a photo of them. Let me take it, show you guys here. And
Oh, what the heck? Those look kind of interesting.
yeah, so one's like a red one, one's a black one, and they seem pretty cool. Again, these are going to be bobbleheads because they're Marvel, and all Marvel pops have to be bobbleheads. So they're also bobbleheads, and they seem pretty cool. I don't even think I have never finished watching the first Venom movie. I know I started it, but I have never finished it. And I have it purchased like literally in my iTunes catalog, but I've never finished it. Have you watched the Venom movie?
I never saw it. It looked interesting. I said I was gonna get around to do it, but I never saw it, honestly.
Yeah. I'm not good on movies. Like I do like
Yeah.
movie. I like TV shows because they're like 30 minutes to an hour, and I can dedicate time for that. But like you want me to sit there for an hour and a half to 2 hours? No, it's not happening. Like
Yeah.
I have.
I'm not a huge fan of Venom. I mean, Spider-Man, yes, Spider-Man was one of my favorite superheroes. Venom, I mean, you know, it wasn't super up there for me. Yeah. So
Yeah, did you see kind of like in the Marvel verse, did you see all of the titles that Marvel announced for all their new movies coming out?
I did not know.
So there have a bunch of new movies coming out over the next year or two, I think. Let me see here. I could pull it up real quick for you. They released just like this big trailer for like the next, like the Avengers are over. That was like, I guess like part one in the Marvel universe, and now they're creating like the second wave, like with new Marvel characters, not written necessarily new Marvel characters, but like new characters from like the comic books and stuff, like people that we haven't seen on the big screen. And so some of the new movies announced are Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. I'm not a fan of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Mm-mm.
Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels. I'm not a fan of Captain Marvel either.
Kind of. She's okay.
Black Panther 2, which is called Wakanda Forever. That movie, I loved Black Panther.
I don't know how I feel about that. Who are they gonna play the new Black Panther? I feel like it might be.
So from in the comic books, eventually his sister becomes the Black Panther in the comic books already. So they're saying like basically they're gonna like fast forward that.
Okay, because Chadwick had passed away this year.
Yeah. So, but in the comic books, it was already written that she becomes like the Black Panther. So
I didn't know that.
yeah. So Thor, Love and Thunder. I feel like Thor's already kind of outdone. I'm like, how many more movies can he fucking have? Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange in the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
See, I'm not a huge fan of Doctor Strange.
Me
I get into him. I think it's the actors though. It's the actors.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
No Way Home? Interesting.
I'm not a fan of the new Spider-Man.
What's his name?
This young guy, I don't know. I don't care for him. My original Spider-Man was Tobey Maguire.
Yeah.
That was my Spider-Man.
And then Andrew Garfield was just terrible. I hated Andrew Garfield. He was the worst Spider-Man in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't like any. I just like Tobey. That's it. The new there's a new movie called The Eternals coming out.
The Eternals.
Shang-Chi and the Legend. Let me see. Shang-Chi, I don't know how to say that. Sorry. And the Legend of the Ten Rings. I'm not familiar with that comic at all.
Is that the guy from Infinity from the Infinity Wars? Like, is he the guy who had the ring? Remember the guy who gave like them the last Infinity Stone? It was like the guy who basically trained Doctor Strange. I wonder if that's him. But I'm not sure. I don't remember his name.
I'm not sure. Black Widow. And then another movie, Spider-Man, Far From Home.
I think Far From Home that's not. Oh no, it was Homecoming. So Far From Home and No Way Home and the two come down. Yeah,
I'm not very excited for any of those. The one that I might be excited for, there's two, Black Panther and Eternals. But other than that, I'm like, it's kind of a no for me.
I'm really curious what they're doing with Black Panther. I'm interested, unless they like somehow were able to do what they did with the Fast and the Furious movies, where they had enough footage to kind of, continue.
Yeah, I don't know, and also the power of technology nowadays too.
Yeah,
they could have like a stand-in actor, maybe his double. You know what I mean? So his stunt double. Maybe they use him and just kind of use CGI. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. So moving back to Funko Pop news, Funko Pops have announced a new Pirates of the Caribbean treasure skeleton, Disney Parks exclusive. And I am annoyed because I'm like, how much longer are we going to ride this Pirates of the Caribbean train? Literally, how much longer? Like, I like the movies, and then now, and like, how many years ago was that now? Like, they haven't made one in a while, right?
In a minute. It's been a while, honestly.
Yeah, so I can share my screen and
some things they need to let die out.
So, can you see So you see the pop there. That's the new pop. I'm not very excited about that. I don't know why it's like highlighted. But yeah, I'm not very excited about that pop at all. And plus, it's a Disney park exclusive, so I'm like, I'm not going to Disney. I don't really
So you have to go all the way to the park,
to
and
get
then
that.
you know
So you
was
gotta
just
buy
like,
a ticket. You gotta buy a ticket to get to first. You gotta fly to Disney because we don't live there,
yeah,
and then you have to buy a ticket to get into Disney, and then you gotta go and buy a $30 pop. So that pop just costs you a few $100s.
yeah. I mean, if you live in Florida, it's pretty convenient. You're just like, oh, just go there. But
Yeah,
still costs you quite a bit because you have to buy the ticket for Disney World and then get in there.
yeah. I'm just not a fan. I'm sick and tired of Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's how I am
Uh,
with Fast and Furious.
yeah, they're still making those movies. Like I just saw something the other day that they're gonna make. I'm like, wait, what? I haven't watched Fast and Furious since like Tokyo Drift or something.
Me neither.
And I
Fast
watched
and
like
Furious.
half of that movie and I was like, this is horrible. And I was done.
Yeah, it's Fast and Furious 10 now.
What? I think
Yeah.
I stopped watching Tokyo Drift was like number 3, I think.
Yeah. Now they're up to 10 or something.
That's gross. Like they surpassed Harry Potter, and Harry Potter
Mhm.
was just excellent. Um, so let's see. All right, so before we end with the biggest story of the day, going back to movie news, for all you Dragon Ball fans, Dragon Ball Super movie is coming in 2022. The new film is the second based on the Dragon Ball Super, which is a sequel from the original Dragon Ball manga that debuted in both manga and anime form in 2015. And you were saying that I don't know the difference between like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball,
So,
whatever. Like, I don't understand any of that.
so Dragon Ball is like Goku as a child, like the very beginning, like that's how it started. So it's Dragon Ball, it leads up until Goku is about a teenager, and then it shifts into like a young adult, first son, so Gohan, and then like so he's about like pretty old until it died, then to like the Buu saga, and then it dies off, and then there's like that weird like argument in like in like the fan base where it's like GT technically isn't canon, so then it doesn't count. So like it goes from like that Dragon Ball Z to like Dragon Ball Super, because technically Super is canon, but GT isn't. So you erase everything from GT and then you just go to Super. So Super technically is right after Dragon Ball Z. So there's only technically 3 series, but if you count GT, it's 4. But people do, people don't. It does. I don't know. It's very confusing.
I don't like it.
Yeah, they
I'm reporting
basically.
on it because it's like in our realm of things to report on, and I know that a lot of people do like it, but I don't like it. Just like I don't like Star Wars. It's too difficult for me.
I got lost. I haven't seen it. I stopped like I think I'm like on season 1, like episode like uh, maybe like 100 and something. I got kind of deep in it, and I just lost my
What?
some reason. Yeah,
Episode 100 and something in season 1?
yeah, season 1 of Super. Yeah, Super
How
like
many
it's
seasons
long.
are there?
I think there's like 2 or 3 now. I've lost track, but I think there's like 2.
And there's hundreds of episodes?
Yeah, it's kind of like Naruto.
That grosses me out. I could never.
Yeah, Naruto Shippuden has 500 episodes, and then I think regular Naruto has like 200 and something.
I'll
Still
keep.
less than One Piece.
I don't know. That's wild. It's
Still less than
um
One Piece, so I'll take it.
so I won't. Yeah, I'm keeping comments to myself. So the last story of the day, guys, it goes back to Pokemon. Pokemon, guys, you have got to calm down. Okay, if you're one of these people that are waiting, camping outside of Target, um, y'all are insane. So Target just announced they are no longer carrying Pokemon cards in stores. Walmart has started to take out Pokemon cards from their stores. Walmart has signs. I know I saw a bunch of signs on Instagram like telling distributors like do not shelve any of these Pokemon cards. So for a lot of people that don't know, like basically Pokemon cards get sent to Walmart. They stay in the back until the like vendor or distributor goes and like displays them. And so basically there's like signs all over the card saying like, do not put these out, like see a member of management, like these are not going out to the floor. Well, because of that, people are acting fucking insane. There's stories all over the web, like a guy stole like a Walmart vest and like walked into the back of the Walmart and just like chilled back there, walked back there, nobody questioned him, and walked out with Pokemon products. By the way, everybody we're talking about has been like convicted and charged and convicted and everything. There was a ring of people that were going into Walmart and switching price tags on trainer boxes. So what they were doing was ringing up booster packs, which are like $5 to $7, and they were putting the trainer boxes in the bag, and so that's a very common theme in retail. Like that's how people usually are stealing, or internal theft is like scanning something and putting something else in the bag because they think the cameras or people won't catch it. But that's like the most, guys, I'm in retail, that's the most common. That's like a way to get fired, way to get caught, get thrown in jail. Not worth it.
Or you fake scan it, you just like pass it over, and
yeah,
like, oh.
like, those are the biggest ways to get thrown in jail. And so those are just a couple of stories that I've heard. David, have you heard any others? Like, I'm sure like we were talking about it briefly earlier.
There's that one where there was a guy who held up, well, they've been stories of people bribing employees to kind of give them more product. So they've actually been paying employees to give them product or bribing them. And then there's one where a guy was held at gunpoint to give him his products. Like, so basically a guy bought him, another guy outside the store had a gun, held him up at gunpoint to steal his stuff. The cops were called, and like people actually have taken guns into stores to get Pokemon product. And well, it's not just it's like sports product, it's like all this stuff. Like it's mainly
like
scalpers. Yeah, it's not even collectors so much. So it's mainly scalpers are buying to upsell. And yeah, I feel like they're getting more kind of aggressive because like they're not necessarily seeing return on investment anymore, because like collectors have warned scalpers there's not very much return on investment. Like people would think these cards are worth hundreds of dollars. In reality, one or two will be worth hundreds of dollars, but other than that, the rest of it is useless. So it's mainly scalpers, and it's getting out of hand. It's really it might actually see it ruin the hobby. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's I don't know. I think the collectors in the long run will benefit from it because scalpers won't be able to get product as easily, and they'll have to move on to something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because collectors have their other sources, but scalpers don't really know of those sources because again, they're just going off public knowledge.
Yeah, and like you'll see a lot of times in Macari, like there'll be a post for something like outrageously priced and nobody's buying it, and then I get a notification like price was dropped on this item that you might like, and then like another day go pass by and like price was dropped again on this item that you might like, because you can like lower your price as a seller there. And so I'm like, these people, the scalpers, are like basically you're gonna buy a trainer box for $50, you might make $70 off of it, so you're going through all of this trouble for a $20 profit.
Exactly.
That's not worth it.
But it might be good for the local card shops and people like that who are trying to make it into a business, because I think with Walmart, Target, and eventually, well, HEB just started, but I'm sure they're going to pull it out eventually too. With all big name retailers out of the picture, it could be beneficial for local shops and smaller businesses to kind of benefit with all the big name companies out of the race. So
yeah, and I think it's gonna cause, like we talked about last week, I think the Pokemon bubble. I think it's gonna that's gonna be one of the things that punctures it and like explodes, and people being scalpers are gonna lose out on so much money.
Oh, for
And
sure, we're
it's
seeing it.
and they're gonna have product coming out of their ears, and for what? Like, was it really worth it? All these people that were like acting a fool and like doing stupid things to get cards. I'm like, guys, now you have a record, and these are felony charges. Okay, these are not like you got a speeding ticket and see a judge, pay a fine. No, these are like felonies. Like, bro,
Not worth it. These
really?
cards are not worth serving time in jail because you're not gonna make as much money as you think you are off all these Pokemon cards. I
Yeah,
mean, at least
there's
not
like
people, at least not the collectors, at least,
yeah, there's like nothing for me personally worth going to jail for, because I'm like, I'm not going to jail. I'm not going to jail. I would die. Like, I could never. Yeah, so that's just, I mean, people are just crazy. Like, do you agree though, like, that this in the long run could be good for collectors? Like, right now, I think
Oh,
collectors are gonna feel it. For Pokemon cards, I think that we'll feel it now, but in the long run, do you think that it'll be better for us?
oh, for sure. I think what we're gonna see is we're gonna see like kind of to compare it to the stock market, but it might be good for collectors because a lot of collectors aren't, in a rush to sell their collections or even if at all. So we'll see like a huge flux in prices. So like things that are worth a lot will like dip. But that might be good because if there's been that card that you want and you're like, I want this card, but it's gonna dip, then it'll dip and you can grab it and then it'll eventually go back up, but it might take a couple of years. But that's kind of good because as of lately, we've seen like, especially in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, you've seen one card skyrocket in price from like 20 to 90. So it'll be good to see those cards drop.
Mm-hmm.
So we use them in games.
Yeah, like, I know both of us sell Pokemon cards, like we resell like singles and stuff, but it's not something that I'm like aggressively like marking up or pushing. Like,
Oh, no.
I use like TCG to price my cards, and so I price it at market value. Whatever they suggest market value is, I put my cards for that price. So a lot of the times, most of my single cards are like under $2. You know what I mean? And then there's the rare card that's like $25 maybe, or something.
Hmm.
Anything pricier I've already sold. Like, I haven't had anything else recently, but there was some that, like, I made. I think yeah, like, it's not very much. I haven't made.
Hmm.
Let's just
Yeah,
put it
and I
this way:
think
I'm not retiring from my day job. You know what I mean?
no, and that's what scalpers don't realize. Like they need to do the research. Like they don't know the struggles we go through. Like we open up a pack. If we got something that's $5, that's a win. We're excited. We're like, oh yeah, $5. That's good. They think we're pulling $100 cards, which is not an everyday occurrence. We're lucky if we get like our money back on like a $4 pack of cards. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we buy like these elite trainer boxes, for instance, and then inside of that whole box, we might get 2 or 3 good pulls.
Yeah.
And then other than that, you're getting just like bulk.
Yeah, basically. So you need to make your money back on the bulk, but realistically we're not getting rich. We're probably able to pay for it with the cards we've already pulled. But I mean if you get a $5 card, go to sleep happy because you won that night, but we're not getting rich off this
And
at
to be
all.
honest, a lot of the times I like to pull a nice card because it's like good, like it's a pretty card. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, that looks pretty. Like, dang, and the way it like looks in the light, and it just like that's. I'm like, man, it's gonna be a good Instagram picture, and that's basically all I care about.
Yeah.
And then I'll look up the price, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's worth $2. Like,
Yeah. That's good.
that's, you know what I mean? Like, hey, $2. That won't even buy my coffee, but whatever. You know what
I
I
got
mean?
half
Like,
of what I paid for it. So
I need to sell like 5 cards to buy my coffee. So,
basically.
so, um, yeah. So, moral of the story, guys: do not go crazy for Pokemon cards. Do not. Y'all are ridiculous if y'all do that. Okay. I don't think any of our listeners. I don't think scalpers listen to podcasts like this, and so
No.
because they don't
They
care
probably
about.
should though, because they'll learn. They
Yeah.
they really should watch the YouTubes and the people who've done it for years so that they see, oh, I'm kind of, freaking out for nothing. but they've
Yeah.
refused to listen to us for whatever reason because they think we're lying to them.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber I watch. He goes by Dr. Applesauce, and he was talking about yesterday in his video. Like, he was like, can you imagine going to jail and that conversation's like, what are you in for? And the guy's like, for stealing. I'm like, oh, like stealing money, cars. Like, what did you steal? And he's like, no, Pokemon cards. Like, can you imagine that being in
Yeah.
a federal prison and that's the conversation you have to have?
And I talk about it a lot on my channel too. Like I'm just like in the McDonald's opening, I was like, hey guys, like do not buy these, like these things are worth $1.02, and the highest market price if you get a PSA 10 is probably like $20. Like, do not believe the hype. People, it's not selling for hundreds of dollars.
You're gonna
Pikachu is
pay
not that much money. Yeah.
You're gonna pay more to get it graded than what it's valued at.
Exactly. Pikachu was not worth $200-$300 like everybody said. The General Mills one, where everybody was like, there was one guy who came out and he was like, the General Mills Pikachu gonna have a PSA 10 value of $500. No, it's like it's in every single General Mills box, like every single one.
I never even got those. So I'm like, I don't go into grocery stores. I do curbside now, so I'm like, I don't remember the last time I was even in a store like that. So I'm like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, Pikachu's at every single card pull. So every single box General Mills, you're guaranteed Pikachu. So he does not
That's
hold
like
that up.
not exciting. I remember reading stories like people were like tearing boxes of cereals open and leaving them on shelves and just taking the cards out. That's so stupid.
But Pikachu's guaranteed.
So everyone, moral of this podcast is don't be an idiot and be smart. Don't go to jail for Pokemon cards, because then you won't be able to listen to our podcast and that would suck. So so yeah, that is it for today's podcast, guys. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media. The links are in the show notes, and wherever you are listening to us, please leave us a rating and review. It helps our podcast get discovered by new listeners. And I hope you guys have a great day. Have a good one.